Hi, Professor Miller. This is Marissa Seeforth, and I'm going to be demonstrating my Power Clean video for KIN 490 today. And everything I'm going to be talking about is according to NSCA recommendations. So I'm going to start off with the starting position of the Power Clean. So I'm going to read first, and then I'm going to demonstrate this part, okay? So the starting position. You're going to stand with your feet placed between hip and shoulder width apart, your toes pointed forward or slightly outward, and then your knees are going to be directly over your feet. You're going to squat down with your hips lower than the shoulders and grasp the bar evenly with the shoulders shoulder width apart or slightly wider. The grip will be pronated meaning your palms will be facing downward. You're going to position your arms outside of the knees with the elbows fully extended and pointed out towards the sides. You're going to position the bar 1 inch or my PVC pipe without any weights attached to it, about 1 inch in front of the shins and over the balls of the feet. And then just before liftoff, you're going to observe the preparatory position and lifting guidelines to place the body in the correct position to lift the bar off the floor. And then all repetitions will begin in this position. And then the last part of the starting position, exact positions of the torso, hip, knees, and bars are related to the lifter's upper body segment length and lower body joint flexibility. So everybody's positioning could be slightly different depending on how flexible they are. An alternate exercise to the hang power clean, which begins with the bar just above the knees instead of the floor. So that would typically be a hang power clean instead of a full power clean. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that position first. Please apologize, my nose is a little bit runny this morning. So hands are right outside of my, they're about shoulder width apart. I'm going to go ahead and flex the knees. The bar starts right here above the shins. You see my view is slightly forward, or you can have your view slightly looking out towards you on the front of you, and then my back is slightly arched at the same time. I'm going to show you a side position. Should look just like this. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start with the first pull by explaining the first, excuse me, my nose. Okay, so the next position being the first pull. So you're going to begin this exercise by forcefully extending the hips and the knees. You're going to keep the torso angle constant in relation to the floor. And you're not going to let the hips rise before or faster than the shoulders. And then you're going to always remember to keep a neutral spine with the back slightly arched. You're going to maintain full elbow extension with the head in line with the spine, and the shoulders over or slightly ahead of the bar. You're going to keep the bar as close to the shins as possible with the if you had dumbbells attached to your bar, they should slide up your thigh and remain very close to the thigh as it accelerates upward. So the first pull starts here, and then you go ahead and pull up, keeping the bar across the body just like that. And you see how everything remains in line, torso, knees, according to the direction of the ground and my feet. All right, third part is the transition. As the bar rises to just above the knees, you're going to thrust the hips forward and slightly flex the knees to move the thighs against and knees under the bar, okay? As the knees are flexed, you're going to shift the body weight forward towards the middle of the feet, keeping the heels on the floor. sorry. You're going to maintain a neutral or slightly arched back with the elbows fully extended and pointed out to the sides. So meaning as you extend, your elbows will come up and outward just like that in the flex position. And then I'll show this as well. The shoulders will remain slightly ahead of the bar and the head in line with the spine. At the finish of this transition, the body is in the position of the second pull, which then will begin the power phase. So I'm going to start from the bottom. So the beginning phase, you start up, extending the hips forward just like that, and then this is going to begin the power phase of the power lift. All right. The next part of the power phase, you have the second pull. The second pull is with the bar on the thighs between the knees and the middle of the thighs. The second pull begins by forcefully and quickly extending the hips, knees, and ankles. The bar should pass as close to the torso as possible, keeping the shoulders over the bar and the elbows extended as long as possible, while the hips, knees, and ankles are extending. So it's a very forceful movement. As you're extending those hips, those heels might come off the ground depending how much weight you're lifting up on the barbell. And then as the lower body joints are fully extended, you are going to rapidly shrug. That shrug looks like this. So like you're shrugging your shoulders, okay? Then the elbows should be kept extended to the point and pointed out on their sides during the shrugging movement. So you'll come up and they're pointed outwards in that direction. As the shoulders reach their highest elevation, you're going to flex the elbows and begin pulling under the bar. So just really quick, the way that looks. So you'll come up like this as you're shrugging, and then it's a quick turn of the elbows just like that, and then you'll catch that bar right here underneath the bar. Okay, as the shoulders reach their highest elevation, you're going to flex the elbows to begin pulling under the bar as I just explained. Continue the pull with the arms as high as long as possible with the elbows moving up and out towards the sides. The upward momentum of this triple extension will then result in an erect or slightly hyperextended torso of the head, and the feet may come off the floor. So just like I explained, with that forceful movement, either the heels or even the whole entire foot may come off of the floor. All right, so go on to the catch portion of this movement. The catch phase of the power clean ends with the bar on the anterior deltoids or the clavicles. So the anterior deltoids, which is right here, or your clavicle, which is right here, depending on anatomical position of what you look like. As the second pull ends and the bar is at maximal height, you pull the body weight under the bar by rotating the arms and the hands around and then under the bar by flexing the hips and knees to approximately a quarter squats position. So, and I'm going to show you that piece in just a second. The feet will regain contact with the floor in a slightly wider stance in comparison to the starting position. So instead of them being hip or shoulder width apart, they're going to be slightly wider at this point as you catch the bar. The bar should be caught on the anterior deltoids and the clavicles, and these are some key points that you should also remember. The head faces forward, the neck neutral and slightly hyperextended, the wrists are hyperextended, the elbows will be fully flexed, upper arms parallel to the floor, the back neutral and slightly arched, your feet flat on the floor, and the body weight over the middle of the feet. So starting here from the bottom. I'm going to show you from the side position. So we're here comes the pull and that transition, and then the catch, just like that. That's where you'll catch it. I tend to catch it right up here on the clavicle as opposed to my anterior deltoids. Okay, so just some other key points about that catch position. The bar should be caught with the torso almost fully erect and the shoulders slightly ahead of the buttocks. This position, which parallels the body position during the beginning of the downward movement and in front of the squat, allows the bar to be directly over the center of gravity. So everything is in line with your body. If the torso becomes too erect, the momentum of the bar will push the shoulders backward and hyperextend that lower back. So too forceful a movement and pushing that those upper shoulders back, as like I said, your back hyperextends, pushing that lower back forward, and then you can possibly injure that lower back depending how much weight you have on the bar. After gaining control and balance, you stand to a fully erect position. All right, so starting from the first part, we're here. I'm going to show you in one quick movement. Here, catch, stand back up to a top position, just like that. And then the last part is the downward movement. Need some Kleenex, Dr. Miller. All right, at the completion of the repetition, you're going to rotate the arms back around the bar to unrack it from the anterior deltoids and clavicle, and slowly lower the bar down to the thighs. Slightly flex the hips and the knees to cushion the impact of the bar on the thighs. Then you're going to slowly flex the knees and the hips downward and place the bar back on the floor. So, allergies getting the best of me. All right, so from the beginning to the end, this is what the Power Clean looks like. So it's starting right here at my shins because I don't have any weight on the bar, and this would be about the same position it would be if I did have bumper plates on my bar. So I'm gonna explode, high outside shrug, catch it, come to a fully extended torso, reposition my feet, bring the bar back down, and then re-rack it back on the floor. And that completes my Power Clean video. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.